So right now, what we're being shown is that there might still be some shedding, releasing, and clearing in order to make way for the new beginnings. And I woke up on the equinox this morning super early and I was like, brilliant, I'll go out and watch the sunrise. And then I got outside and I was like, oh, like, why did no one tell the weather that it was going to be the spring equinox? It was just like grey and a bit damp and a bit miserable. So I was like, okay, this is, this is what it is. And I went on this beautiful big long walk through nature. And I started to really notice the signs that everything would look a bit grey, and then you see these little daffodils at the base of a tree showing that that new sign of life is coming. And then as it went and spent quite a long time, maybe rather too long for anyone watching, with this beautiful blossom tree. And I noticed a couple of things. The first thing I noticed when I watched this blossom tree was that blossoms were falling away. As I watched, the blossoms weren't all there. They were falling away. They were scattering down to the ground, as if another sign that things still need to be released for the new growth to be able to come through. And then the next observation that I had was that some of the blossoms were there in full bloom, and then some of them were really still tight in a little tight bud. And it really made me realize that that's exactly where we are right now as well. Nature doesn't rush or push or force. So very often we wake up on a day like an equinox, especially when we're going through really difficult times on the earth at the moment. It's a huge upgrade. I've said this to anyone who's been coming to these. We're going through at the moment one of the biggest upgrades to humanity ever. And that's not going to feel easy. And so right now, we're almost in the birth canal where everything's been squeezed and contracted and doesn't feel comfortable. But there's only one way, and that's out. There's only one way, and that's it. We're coming through. There's going to be a rebirth. But in that, and for anyone, again, who's ever given birth, those contractions, the pain, the I can't do this is too much, someone make it stop, is to bring that new life into the world. And so I want you to imagine at the moment as though we're going through like a collective birthing, like all of us right now are on this birthing canal of birthing a new earth, a new era, something brand new. And so as we've been going through all of this at the moment, we wake up on days like the equinox and we kind of go like, well, I thought my whole life would have changed, and I thought that everything would be fixed and I wouldn't feel the way that I'm feeling anymore. And why is everything still the same? Why do I still feel like this? And what we've got to look at this moon is that everything is happening at 0 degrees. So this is the brand new beginning. This is just the very beginning. It's the start. It's not like we're having the moon at 15 degrees of Aries, so halfway through. This moon is going to go new at 0 degrees and 50 minutes of Aries. So just 50 minutes after the moon changes sign, she goes new. 50 minutes. It's brand new. And so it's not like we've had any time to get in there. This is the very new beginning. Now, this is such a new, I can't even tell you what a new beginning this is. I really can't, but it's not going to happen overnight. But we've got the spring equinox, which in itself is a whole new beginning. It's the start of an astrological new year. It's a whole new beginning. But then to have a new moon the day after the equinox, like hours after the equinox, not even 24 hours after the equinox to get a new moon, and for that moon to fall at 0 degrees of Aries, the very, very beginning of the zodiac wheel. And we've got 5 planets in Aries. We've got a stellium in Aries. We've got all that new Aries energy with the sun, the moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron, all in Aries. Then we've got Mars, the ruler of this moon, just that shadow period. Mars has been in Gemini since last August. So Mars has been there forever, and Mars has been like super unhappy being there, like overthinking, getting caught up in everything, which might be you too, overthinking. What should I begin? Should I start? Maybe I won't start. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. Maybe I'll go forwards. Maybe I'll go backwards. Maybe all of this. Mars is just out of shadow. So Mars is like, I'm ready to move now. There's nothing stopping me anymore. Mars, our motivation, our drive, our desire rules this moon, and all those planets in Aries is like, now I'm ready. And then we've got Pluto changing signs just 2 days later. Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius in our lifetime, won't be again, hasn't been in Aquarius for 245 years, since 1777. And this shift of Pluto into Aquarius is going to change the world. It's going to change the world as we know it. Pluto moving through Capricorn has changed the world as we knew it. And especially then when 2020 hit, everything about the world that we knew got literally flipped on its head. Pluto can often be described as, I describe Pluto as kind of a wrecking ball. So Pluto comes in and Pluto just destroys everything and pulls it all down and flips it all upside down and gives us that death and rebirth process. But Pluto only destroys what's not in alignment with the truth. And so what Pluto wants to do, which is what's been happening to all of us as a collective lately, Pluto doesn't just want to till the top surface of the soil. Pluto wants to go right down into the depths of the soil and turn it over. So everything that's been murky or hidden beneath there or not been brought to light, Pluto wants to bring it all to light. And then this soil is kind of beautiful and fertile for us to be able to plant something new into it. That is a rebirth then, in order to be able to evolve as a humanity. So we're going through such a massive shift at the moment, and it starts today. It starts with this equinox, but bear in mind, the equinox and the new moon happen at 0 degrees. We then get a second Aries new moon at 29 degrees. So the end of the zodiac, the end of Aries, which tells us that this is now the beginning of a journey. We can't expect to wake up overnight and everything is different. So looking at that blossom tree today, where some will full blossom and some will bud, nature is in complete trust that those buds will open and bloom when they're ready. And that's what we're being really asked to do at the moment as well, is to be in full trust. But we're being asked today and under this moon to take the first step, to decide what we want to grow and blossom and bloom in our lives, the part to play that we have in the creation of the new world. And so I want you to imagine right now that the world is just this beautiful garden. The whole world is just this beautiful garden that's a brand new beginning, like the very beginning of the zodiac wheel, a whole new beginning. And each one of us now gets to plant a seed in that garden for what's going to grow and what's going to evolve in humanity over the coming, 20 years that Pluto's going to be in Aquarius, but then beyond as well. So each one of us now gets to plant a seed in there of what's going to grow.